rolling again. Oh, a wonderful goal.
And it's in. Gone to the Kramaric. Oh, lovely goal.
Surely, that is the decisive moment. Werder Bremen have done it. How about that from Moussa Diaby? Joy for Leipzig.
Competition dripping with tradition.
We are heading to the Deutsche Bank Park because the Bundesliga is back with a bang. Kicking off the new campaign, we have defending champions Bayern Munich away to Europa League winners Eintracht Frankfurt. Now, for 10 straight seasons, Bayern have scooped the title of Meisterschale, and today they start their quest for number 11. Welcome into our studios. My name is Kay Murray, delighted to be joined here by Alejandro Moreno. In Frankfurt, we have our team on the ground as well, Archie Rintut, Arne Friedrich, and also Lutz van den Steel, as we build up to the first game of the season in the Bundesliga. But let's get you caught up on the top stories before we get into all the analysis. Plenty of storylines we're tracking into the new season. Bayern, of course, going for their 11th straight title. Their 10 in a row is already a record. Now, a handful of teams think they have what it takes to stop them, including Dortmund, Leverkusen and Leipzig. Two of the biggest names in the league have moved on. How will Lewandowski and Haaland be replaced? And the American Bundesliga presence continues. Just a few months away from the World Cup, Jordan Pefok has joined Union Berlin, Ricardo Pepi as well, in search of goals. And don't forget, Schalke and Werder Bremen have returned from the second division, and they are looking to once again find success in the top flight. But it is Bayern's new era that has piqued the interest of you, LA.
Well, yeah, and this may not be a popular opinion, but the truth of the matter is that Bayern Munich remains the most interesting, most intriguing team in Germany. They have dominated, and I mean dominated, the summer transfer conversation. Lewandowski out, Mane and De Ligt in. It has been all Bayern all the time. Now, you just mentioned they won 10 in a row, and I believe wholeheartedly that they're going to win an 11th one. What I'm curious about, what I'm passionate about, is to see how are they going to go about this? Because it is a different team with different pieces. And so Julian Nagelsmann is going to have to bring these pieces together, find the correct rotation in the attacking half, and then go on and win some games. Find consistency in the goal scoring, defend better. They do all those things, they'll be fine. If they don't, maybe somebody gives them a run for their money. I don't think they will. Bayern Munich, too good for everybody else.
I wonder what our team in Frankfurt are thinking about this one. As I mentioned, they are pitchside today. Archie, I'll send it out to you to find out what you guys are looking forward to this season.
Thanks, Kay. Welcome to Frankfurt. The atmosphere is cooking in the cauldron here of the Deutsche Bank Park. How it did on so many European nights last year when Eintracht Frankfurt won the Europa League. And I'm here with two people who are very excited for the start of the Bundesliga season as well. Arne Friedrich and Lutz van den Steel. Lutz, what are you looking forward to most this season?
Well, for me, it's hashtag title race. You know, you just said it, 10 in a row. There must be some changes. I really hope that we don't have the Easter Bunny trumping again and Bayern Munich already is the champion. So a long-lasting title race would be that what I'm looking forward to, and maybe it really happens this year.
Arne.
Ja, Yeah, that's what we all wish for sure. But to me, it's more the unpredictability of the season. So first of all, who's going to step in as the new Haaland and Lewandowski? Those two have left the German Bundesliga. Who's going to go for the Golden Boot? And as well, there's the Winter World Cup for the first time. And to that is, who's going to adapt the best? I mean, it's a different season. It's a different part of the season. And to me, very interesting to see how they do.
You mentioned there the players that have left the Bundesliga, but what it does mean, as one of my notes flies away, is that somebody's going to be the new Torjägerkanone winner, the new top scorer in the Bundesliga, because Robert Lewandowski, the winner of the last 5 in a row, he's gone. Who's the favourite for you to win that? Patrick Schick, Sadio Mane? Who are you thinking?
So, to me, I think Schick is a very good bet, because Bayern Munich, they really try to put the responsibility on different shoulders. I don't expect someone else stepping in as a new Lewandowski. Even Sadio Mane, he's a fantastic world-class striker, but he's not that kind of a tour machine. I would go for Schick, if you ask me.
Where do you stand on the debate?
I agree here with Arne. I think Bayern Munich will be completely different this year. I think there will be lots of different scorers. We have so much offensive power. With Gnabry, of course, with Mane, with Sané. There is so many guys. So I think it will change a little bit. But for me, Schick is the guy to watch for.
And whilst Ale calls Bayern the most interesting and intriguing team, I think tonight they're playing against the team which is the most exciting team to support in Germany right now, because Eintracht Frankfurt are hitting so far above their expectations. Let's see if they can do it once again tonight, Kay, because, as they've shown last season, they've got a pretty good team here.
They've got a pretty good team, as we all saw in the Europa League last year. Now, this is kicking off the match day 1 schedule, and there are plenty more games to savour this weekend, all of which will be available on Plus. Frankfurt Bayern kicking it all off tomorrow. 6 more games, including a belter of an opening round clash. That's Dortmund against Leverkusen. You can catch that on ABC. 2 more on Sunday. Stuttgart taking on Leipzig, and Cologne against the returning Schalke. But we just heard the guys there talking about Bayern. It is a new era. They will be without Robert Lewandowski, and there's been so much talk about how they are going to deal, at least when it comes to the goal scoring, with his absence. But let's take a look at his achievements with Bayern, because they really are incredible. 238 goals, 253 games with the club, 150 more than any other player in the Bundesliga since he joined the club. He broke Gerd Muller's single-season record a couple of years ago with 41 in a single Bundesliga campaign. He had at least a share of Bayern's scoring lead in each of the last 8 seasons. Let's hear what Oliver Kahn's thoughts were on how Bayern will replace him.
There are not so many strikers, not so many world-class strikers around. But I think in our team, you know, we have so many options. We have so many possibilities. We can play, you know, we have Thomas Müller, he can score. We have Musiala, he can score. We have Sané. We have Kingsley Coman. Now we have Mane. So we have so many options, so many flexibility in the team, and every one of these players can score. And I think additionally, when you look at Julian Nagelsmann, you know, he's very he's very tactical savvy coach, you know. So he has so many thoughts in his mind, and I think now our opponents, they know what to do. There's Robert in the center, you know, and then they know what to do. But now, no, we are very flexible, so this could be hard for our opponents.
So it sounds like everything's fine, Ale. He listed off all the players there that can score in the absence of Robert Lewandowski.
I understand the position of Oliver Kahn and, of course, Bayern Munich in talking about the present and the future of Bayern Munich, and obviously Lewandowski is not part of that. And you don't want to talk about Lewandowski. But this is what I'll say. Scoring goals is hard. It's a hard thing to do. So you get to be at the level of Robert Lewandowski, to be an elite player, superstar level player, record-breaking, goal-scoring, superstar guy, 40 goals a year, he's walking out the door. You cannot convince me that your team is better off because of it. Now, you can address some of the concerns, and they have done that, and you can ask those players that are now going to be in the attacking half to rotate and score goals here, there, and everywhere. But that's a projection. That's a possibility, not a guarantee, not a certainty. You know where the certainty is? It's in Barcelona right now. The guarantee is in Barcelona right now. These guys can do the job. And hopefully, if you're a Bayern Munich fan, they will do the job. But that's a wait-and-see sort of thing.
Well, they scored 5 in the Super Cup, and it's the same lineup as that Super Cup game against Leipzig that they're going with today, Ale.
And I'm not concerned about Bayern Munich scoring goals for the most part with this group of players. It's the consistency with which they score those goals. And that's where I have an issue, in that, yeah, Thomas Muller can score a goal here and there. Gnabry can score a goal here and there. Mane is going to score a goal here and there. But what happens when they go cold? You had one guy that you knew was going to be able to score the goals. Now you're asking questions. Now, of course, when I look at that lineup, I say, man, yeah, there is flexibility. Yeah, there is a possibility of rotation. Yeah, Musiala is going to float around everywhere, and Sadio Mane is going to float around everywhere, and Thomas Muller is going to be able to complete an assist here and there, and Gnabry gives you another option. There are reasons to be excited, and you can take that position. But please, do not try to convince me that Lewandowski walking out the door is a good thing for Bayern Munich.
I wonder what our team in Frankfurt think. Maybe they can convince us of this, and maybe they can give us their reactions to today's lineup.
We can, Kay. In fact, let's go straight across to Lutz. What do you think about what Ali is saying there? Is it a positive for Bayern that Lewandowski's gone, in a way?
Well, I don't completely agree with Ali. I don't think it's good. Of course, if Lewandowski walks out, he's one of the best, maybe the best striker in the world. But having worked myself with Nagelsmann, I know he likes that flexibility. I know he likes also a striker like Mane, where the trigger, the defensive work of a striker is very important. And looking at the team they have now, I think the general squad is a tiny bit better than last year, despite Lewandowski leaving. Yes, he's a guaranteed goal scorer, but it's not just a one-man show.
What do you mean by trigger, though? Can you just explain what is that and why is that important in Nagelsmann's game?
Yeah, Nagelsmann's game is based a lot on pressing and counter-pressing. He likes quick transitions, and that's not really the game Lewandowski plays. He did it in Hoffenheim like that. He was very successful in Leipzig. And that's now the situation. Mane is exactly the guy who learned that. Under Jurgen Klopp in Liverpool, he's a pressing machine. He knows when to trigger, and you will see on the long term, Bayern Munich actually made the right decision.
We look at the overall atmosphere at Bayern right now, Arne. Many people were criticising sporting director Hassan Salihamidzic going into the summer. Now, all that pressure, it's gone onto Julian Nagelsmann's shoulders. How do you see the situation?
Yeah, I agree, for sure. And Julian Nagelsmann, he's really hard on himself, so he wants to win title. He needs to win titles, for sure. Just coming back to Lewandowski really quick as well. So I agree with Lutz, but on the other hand, he scored on average 30 goals. And if you want to play pressing, you need 11 players. Sometimes you can miss out one player. And if you have a guarantee of 30 goals a year, I wouldn't mind.
How about these signings that Bayern have made there? Most notably, the world star in the paper today. You can see there Sadio Mane against the world champion, as they are all too happy to point out here in Germany, Mario Getzer. Sadio Mane coming at the height of his powers to Bayern Munich. This is a win not just for Bayern, but for the league as well.
It's a nice newspaper headline. I like that. I'm gonna start with De Ligt, to be honest.
Okay.
To me, De Ligt is the final piece in the bag. Bayern Munich is missing a leader after Boateng and Alaba leaving the club, and to me, De Ligt is such a fantastic player. Despite of his age, he became captain at the age of 19. He speaks, he communicates. He played for Ajax Amsterdam and he played for Juventus Turin with the best defenders right now in the world. And he learned a lot, and he can speak. He can speak up on the field. And to me, when it's crunch time, when it's really up to speed on the field, you need communication, you need someone to lead.
Lutz, Mr. Mane, what do you like about him?
Well, I like his character, his personality. You know, he's a guy which treats everybody the same. He has no superstar behavior. He just gets integrated so easy wherever he goes. The smile on his face is one thing, but he's a lethal smiling assassin when he comes to be on the field. He scores his goals. He works really hard. I come back to the trigger, come back to the work against the ball. It's very important. Last year, we spoke a lot about Bayern Munich conceding too many goals. That's not just the goalkeeper, the defender, the central defensive midfielder. It starts with the number 9. It starts with the striker. And that's where Mane, he learned that pressing. In Salzburg, he actually did it unbelievably well in Liverpool. And now Bayern Munich, they're actually the ones who will smile about it.
The dynamic, though, that we look at for Julian Nagelsmann to handle here in a squad. You've been a sporting director yourself, Arne. We don't need to go too much into how tough a job that is at Hertha Berlin.
That's the biggest riddle, to be honest. Julian Nagelsmann is a fantastic coach, especially when it comes up to tactics. To me, he has to show, you know, how to keep everyone happy. He has such big quality and quantity as well, and you know, the coaches before, like Hansi Flick, he's really good in also managing the whole roster, and this is so important when it comes up to win the big trophies. So therefore, I'm really excited to see how Julian is gonna manage that.
How do you keep squads happy at such big clubs? Do you make rules? In terms of, you say to the players that whoever is playing the best starts no matter what? How do you implement a rotation system? Because that's what ultimately killed off Niko Kovac at Bayern, for example.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one, and that's the biggest challenge. You know, in Hoffenheim, he had 14, 15 players who were at the same level. In Leipzig, it was similar. Now suddenly you have this assembly of superstars, 22, 23 top guys, and you need to keep them happy. Julian is not a big friend of rotation, so he will have his first 11, first 13 in his head, but having Cup, having Champions League and having Bundesliga, he needs to rotate, he will rotate, and look at the offensive quality. He has enough people really to do it.
And the key here to me is communication. He needs to be very honest, and he needs to communicate well and a lot, because sometimes, to me, this is, at least from my experience, if you don't communicate well, if you don't explain why player X or Y doesn't play in this particular very important game, then you have a problem.
So just accepting as well that players will be unhappy as well, that how do you manage that and know that you just have to have thick skin, I guess?
I think Julian is hoping for that. If you have a bench just like sitting there quiet, something is wrong.
Right, we are now going to talk about Eintracht Frankfurt, because their coach, Oliver Glasner, is going to come in and talk to us now. Here he is. The winning coach of the Europa League this year, Oliver Glasner. Oliver, thanks for joining us on ESPN. We were just talking about Bayern Munich and how they've changed since Robert Lewandowski left. How exactly does that change the constellation for you in terms of how you prepare for them? What's changed in your analysis?
First of all, it's always difficult to play against Bayern Munich, so Lewandowski or Sadio Mane, and there's a lot of players with high quality. But now the real system, a lot of players in the middle, because maybe because of the typical number 9 in the middle, in the front, we want to play without wanting Musiala. We don't want to give the ball to Musiala, to Müller, to Gnabry, so we have to close the middle, and we want to give them the wing. So because then when they make crosses, we think that we can defend it well, and then we get a lot of space, because Bayern Munich is pressing very intensive and very high, and sometimes they play 1-1 on the midline. And so if we can create the situations and we solve this, come out of this pressure, we get our chances, and we have also a lot of speed in our offense.
There's been a lot of speculation, understandably, about one of your star players, Filip Kostic, this summer. There's been talk today that Juventus are closing in on a deal. What do you know of this? You've picked him tonight, obviously.
I know that he's playing for us. He's working very hard in training, and also in the first game in Magdeburg. And we talked during the vacation. We are talking, I think, maybe every day, and he wants to play with us Champions League. But of course, when maybe Juventus or Inter, or they make really such an offer that he and also the club cannot say no, maybe there will be changes the club. But he likes to play with us. He likes the way we are playing, and he also knows that he has a big standing in our team and in the whole city.
I've got a question for you. So it's about Mario Getzer. Congrats on the signing. He's a fantastic player. In his prime, he was probably one of the best players in the German Bundesliga. I know that. I'm witness to that. What are your personal expectations of Mario this season?
Yeah, we're very happy that we could sign Mario. I think that was one of the reasons is that we can play Champions League, and he's a very, very calm guy and a very nice guy, and also he's such a great player. And I always say about such players, he understands football. we talk about it. I say maybe let's try this or try this. After 1 or 2 times talking, he can show it on the pitch, and he's always calm when he has the ball. So this is important today because we will have a lot of pressure, and then he also sees the free player, and he's really in a fantastic shape.
Lutz?
Oliver, if Arne and Archie have a question, I also need to pull one out of the hat. Am I right to say that you feel extremely privileged this season, that you had all the players in pre-season always together, there was no new players signed very late, and you had a brilliant pre-season where you feel already you had always the best players available?
Yes, it makes it easy. So, but the most important thing is that we could keep maybe the first 15 from last season, because it makes it also easier for the new players to come in a team that works, that everybody knows what to do, and now they can maybe they are in the second position now, but then they can see what we want to do, they can learn, they can improve, and when they are ready, they can also help us, and this makes it easy for the guys who were here, and makes it also easier for the new players.
Oliver, just finally, I think it's fair to say you made a lot of people's dreams come true here. What's it been like as the winning coach of this Europa League team, walking around the city this summer?
It's over, it's the past. Of course, maybe the fans and the people in Frankfurt, they talk about it, but we are focused on the new season. It's the first time that Eintracht Frankfurt plays Champions League, and we also said the first league in the German Pokal in Magdeburg last year we lost, and so we said we want to show a different face, and we showed it. And also today we start against Bayern Munich, 10-time champion in a row, so it's maybe, or not maybe, it's the best team in Germany, and so this in 5 days we play against Real Madrid. I think in the last five years they won 3 times the Champions League, so it's really great for all of us, and it's great for the club, it's great for our fans, for our supporters, and we're happy that we are such a great community in Frankfurt.
I was thinking somebody must have tapped you on the shoulder in the supermarket to say thank you at least once, but no, not once at all.
Yes. Maybe when I put off my shirt, you see that it's totally blue left and right. And but I said it's better than they throw eggs after me, and because we are not successful.
Oliver, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll let you go and enjoy what the fans are going to put on for us today. And Arne, it is an important element to mention here, because sure, there are good atmospheres all around Germany, but what they have here, what they put on in the northwest curve behind us, as we'll see tonight, it is something different. And without them, as many of them have admitted, they would not have won the Europa League.
I mean, this is so special. It's so energetic. I played in so many stadiums around the world as well, and this is definitely one of the stadiums I always felt most comfortable, even though if I didn't play for them. But I mean, we had to turn up the volume in order to understand any word, so it's so important. And even after COVID, I mean, we were longing for the crowd back in the stadium, and now it's such a nice feeling to be here with all of those people.
What difference does it make, Lutz? You've looked into players' eyes who have come off the pitch here. Can you see them looking intimidated at all?
I think it can be intimidating for lots of teams. For Bayern Munich, I don't think so. They're used to that every week. They want to be beaten every week. Everybody tries. It's the game of the year for every team. But I think in the other side, it really pushes the home team. It gives them another 5%. It's an electric atmosphere. It's not hostile, but it gives you very, very positive energy. And just being in the city, talking to people, that European League win, that quality in the squad now, the fans are excited, the city's excited, and it's great to have a team like Eintracht Frankfurt with that fans in the Bundesliga.
What you won't have seen is that a certain Philipp Lahm, a good friend of Mr. Arne Friedrich here, just walking past trying to put off Arne, but Arne, look at him, he stays cool. Nothing phases Arne Friedrich.
Secret language.
So fair enough, okay. I want to come back to the Eintracht game plan that Oliver Glasner was talking about there. He says he wants to push Bayern out towards the wings, which suggests to me he wants to get them in one-on-one duels with Philipp Kostic and Ansgar Knauf. Those 2 duels that we're going to see there, Pavard against Philipp Kostic for a start, and Knauf against Davies. How do you see those working out?
I mean, it's a good plan, and if it works out, it's all perfect. I would rather be concerned at the opposite side. I mean, Eintracht Frankfurt, they play with 3 in the back, and it is so hard to defend if Bayern Munich is going to try to make the field wide, and especially with Musiala, who's like in top form right now. You saw that in the first game. This is going to be a threat, and I would be more concerned about that. But on the other hand, if his plan works out, I'm fine with that. I definitely want to see an open game. I want to see goals today, and I'm really excited to get this started.
I think in the end of the day, it's all about being brave. Playing against Bayern Munich at home, first match day, you need to be brave, you need to be full of confidence, you need to get out 100%. And I think Frankfurt is ready. You know, it doesn't really matter if they win, lose or draw today. I think it's getting a performance on the field, get the crowd going and get them behind it. And I think when it comes to momentum, you can't have any better momentum than winning the EuroLeague.
Let's talk about the one game we have seen from Bayern, a competitive game last week against RB Leipzig, a 5-3 win. Scoreline doesn't quite tell the tale of how dominant Bayern were in that first half, Arne. Who stood out for you? I think there's one clear name, obviously.
For sure, Musiala. But besides that, first of all, the first plan worked out. 5 different goal scorers, which is exactly what they were looking for after Lewandowski leaving. To me, it's all about staying in the defensive shape to stay sharp in the game. I mean, the first half, it was like dominant, right? So if I would be a fan, I would just like turn off the television maybe and not expecting anything coming back from Leipzig. But this is football and this is soccer. You always need 90 minutes, and that's the reason why I think it's so important also to bring the Licht in a good shape.
What did you take away from the Super Cup last week, Lutz? Because albeit Bayern was so dominant in that first half, RB came back, and the way that Domenico Tedesco changed the formation at half-time, was there enough there to make you think that Bayern are going to have enough weaknesses this season to let in those title challenges that you want to see?
I think the first half was outstanding, but they also showed again what was the problem last season, that they do give away too many chances. Teams can score against Bayern Munich, and that's, I think, also where Frankfurt will look today. However, if they get used to the players, if the Licht comes in and he gels up with his teammates, if the Lewandowski talk will finally stop and Mane and the other players will get the glory, I think then Bayern Munich is still the best team in Germany. But we have other teams who want to challenge, and I hope they will.
The noise you can hear there is to do with the popularity of Bayern Munich, because winning here, winning everywhere, it doesn't really make you many friends. But we move to the defensive side of the game for Bayern. It's not classic defending, it's not 10 men behind the ball. Just explain exactly this concept that we hear a lot in Germany of Restverteidigung. What does that mean?
I mean, what is the word in English for Restverteidigung?
So, you can translate it as rest defense, but it's more about your defensive structure with and without the ball. Because it's similar to the way that we say Manchester City would play under Pep Guardiola. How does that work for Bayern in your eyes?
Now, let's put it this way. Bayern Munich is a team who mostly possess the ball, and therefore, as a defender, I used to be a defender, the most important time actually, actually the most important time is if you don't possess the ball. Some players just give away some seconds, split seconds, they're not really concentrated, but this is the most crucial time. What happens if you lose the ball? So to me, Restverteidigung starts obviously with the center backs. To me, it was always very important to be very tight to your defender. If they get the ball and play the ball to the striker and he has time to move and to keep the ball in order for the rest to move up, that's a problem. The second thing is, if there are not a lot midfielders or strikers on my team right around the ball to getting the ball back, you might make the decision to drop deep a little bit, because you see quite often if a team plays a long ball behind the line, there's always big chances coming out.
Just listen and have a look at the noise that the fans in the northwest curve are making behind us there. That gives you an idea of what it's going to be like here tonight. And actually there was a moment earlier which was, I'd say, in the spine-tingling direction when Kevin Trapp came out to warm up, and having seen the reception that he got on the balcony of the Römer in the town centre after they won the Europa League, and hearing how they were saying Neuer on the bench for Germany, they think that Kevin Trapp should be the German #1. We can't underestimate what Kevin Trapp has done here and rebuilt his career after a tricky time at PSG. How important do you think, Lutz, he's going to be in tonight's game, for example?
Yeah, I mean, last last year, he single-handedly actually beat Bayern Munich, right, at their game in Munich. And I think he is an absolute top goalkeeper. Is he Manuel Neuer? No, he's not. Neuer is, for me, still the best in the world. We have to live with that. That's a fact. But again, Trapp is a world-class goalkeeper. He is one of the key men for Frankfurt. It was a great move by Freddy Bobic, bringing him back from PSG, a hometown hero who really the fans can identify with. They see him as one of their own, and yeah, he plays a key role. He's a good communicator.
And that's actually the burden of a goalkeeper. If you have someone like Manuel Neuer playing for Germany in this time, in this moment, you have a problem, right? So, but to me, Kevin Trapp, he's such a fantastic goalkeeper, and this is actually what Germany did in the last couple of years and even decades to produce good goalkeepers.
Manuel Neuer has had a bit of a stomach problem this week, but he is in the starting lineup. Maybe that plays into the hands of Frankfurt, making them think, is he going to be weak? Arne's face to me there says, if you think he's going to be weak, forget about it, Sunshine. Who do you think is going to pose the biggest goal threats? Just quickly, the biggest goal threat from Eintracht Frankfurt.
You want to start with that?
I think threatening will be Kostic if he moves forward and actually feed the centre.
It's a good question. I mean, I'm really excited about Alario maybe getting off the bench. But to me, obviously, Kostic is very, very dangerous. But I hope for Getzer.
Arne, thank you. Let's just stump you just at the end there. I was wondering if there's anybody in that team that scares you, but obviously not. Alario, when he comes on, we'll find out, right?
We will. It's actually really hard to understand a word here right now. That's the reason why I'm a little hesitant.
All good. Kay, back to you. We're excited for this one.
Thanks so much, Archie. I'm just laughing at them there, saying, what's the word for that in English? I feel like there's a word in German for everything. And I learned recently Hexenkessel, which is like a witch's cauldron, like a lion's den. And that's the scenes we're seeing here today at this stadium.
What was that again?
Derek Ray needs to look out. Hexenkessel.
Okay. Which translates to what?
A lion's den, a witch's cauldron.
That doesn't seem very similar.
It's not very similar.
Okay.
I just feel as though they have a word for everything in German. Okay, let's talk about Sadio Mane. That's where I want to go back to, because we've seen that kids have been climbing trees to catch a glimpse of him training with Bayern. He's very humbled by this. He doesn't see himself as a football superstar. He did say he wants to go to the limit for his teammates, score goals, provide assists, and win games. He's at the right place for this, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And I think it's at the right time in his career as well. He had achieved everything that he was going to achieve at Liverpool and didn't feel like he was below the manner in which Mohamed Salah is at Liverpool. That's the reason as to why Sadio Mane is now at Bayern Munich. He wants the love. He wants the recognition, and he's going to get all of that at Bayern Munich. He gets an opportunity with a new challenge to now come in and make a huge impact and make a big difference for this team. And he's going to have to fill the shoes of Robert Lewandowski. Now, he's not going to be called upon to score those goals and that number of goals. But he's going to have to provide productivity, not only in the amount of goals that he scores, but the assists as well.
OK, well, we are getting ready for this game. It's Eintracht Frankfurt against Bayern Munich. If you are watching on our digital channels, now is the time to turn over to ESPN+. But remember, Bayern have not lost a opening day match day for 11 years. Could today be the difference? When we return, it will be Derek Ray and Didi Hamann with your call.